students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Myself Madhu. So my YouTube channel is Science Maths Academy 2023. In this YouTube channel you will get everything about class 10th math science. So tricky methods, old question papers will be solved, new question papers, new model papers will be solved. So everything will be get in only one channel. So please like my videos, share my videos, and please don't forget to subscribe my channel and please press the bell icon. Any doubt is there, please comment in the comment box. Thank you. In this video, we are going to study about chemical reactions and equation part 5 of class 10th science. In the last video, we have studied up to displacement reaction. Now let us study about double displacement reaction. What is meant by double displacement reaction? A reaction in which there is a exchange of ions. There is a exchange of ions between reactants to form a new product or to form a new compound. A reaction in which there is a exchange of ions between reactants to form a new compound. ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ಅಯಾನ್ಗಳು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಯಾನ್ಗಳು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆದಾಗ ನ್ಯೂ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Such a reaction is called double displacement reaction. This double displacement reaction is also called as precipitation reaction. So now let us take example for double displacement reaction. So let us take an example here. So example 1 ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. So example 1 ನಲ್ಲಿ when potassium iodide reacts with lead nitrate, that is PbNO3 taken twice. Potassium iodide when reacts with lead nitrate, it forms lead iodide and potassium nitrate PbI2 plus 2KNO3. This is potassium iodide. When reacts with lead nitrate, it forms lead iodide and potassium nitrate. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು observe ಮಾಡಿ, potassium will get exchanged with potassium will combines with nitrate and lead will combines with iodine. So therefore here there is a exchange of ions, and this exchange of ions between the reactants to form a new compound is called as double displacement reaction. So here potassium iodide combines with lead nitrate to form lead iodide and potassium nitrate. So this is called double displacement reaction. Example 2 let us take. So example 2, sodium sulfate Na2SO4 plus barium chloride BaCl2. So here these two are the reactants. So in these reactants there will be exchange of ions. SO4 combines with Ba, Cl2 will combines with Na2, it forms 2NaCl plus BaSO4. So here since there is exchange of ions between the reactants, a new compound will be formed, and that new compound is sodium chloride and barium sulfate. Such a reaction is called as double displacement reaction. ಈ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So this is about double displacement reaction. So now here Na2SO4 is sodium sulfate, BaCl2 is barium chloride. Sodium sulfate reacts with barium chlorides to form sodium chloride and barium sulfate. So now let us move for next type of reaction, that is precipitation reaction. So double displacement is also called as precipitation reaction. So what is meant by precipitation reaction? A reaction in which an insoluble an insoluble solid is formed. A reaction in which an insoluble solid is formed is called precipitation reaction. Here this insoluble solid is called as precipitate. ಆ ಇನ್ಸಾಲ್ಯುಬಲ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಸಿಪಿಟೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಸಿಪಿಟೇಟ್ is formed, it is called precipitation reaction. So what is precipitation reaction? A reaction in which an insoluble solid is formed. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಲ್ಲ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪ್ರಿಸಿಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ 2Ki plus PbNO3 taken twice give rise to PbI2 plus 2KNO3. This PbI2 is called as yellow precipitate. So it is an yellow PPT. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ potassium iodide when reacts with lead nitrate, it forms a insoluble solid, and that insoluble solid is lead iodide, which is a yellow PPT. Since precipitate is formed, such a reaction is called precipitation reaction. Then what happens when potassium iodide reacts with lead nitrate? What color PPT is formed? Yellow PPT is formed. What is the name of that yellow PPT? Lead iodide. So lead iodide is the yellow PPT. So now let us take one more same example. I will take sodium sulfate when reacts with barium chloride, it forms sodium chloride and barium sulfate, and this barium sulfate is a insoluble solid, or barium sulfate is a PPT. Since PPT is formed, such a reaction is called precipitation reaction. Here barium sulfate is a white PPT. Since white PPT is formed, since PPT is formed, it is called precipitation reaction. Here what colored PPT is formed? White PPT is formed. What is the name of that white PPT? It is barium sulfate, and that barium sulfate is a insoluble solid. Since the insoluble solid is formed, it is called precipitation reaction. Since precipitate is formed, it is called precipitation reaction. These two are the best example for precipitation reaction that has been given in our text NCERT textbook. So this is about precipitation reaction. Now let us move for the next type of reaction, that is called as oxidation reaction. So now let us study about oxidation reaction. So what is oxidation reaction? A reaction in which there is addition of oxygen, or removal of hydrogen, or losing of electrons. ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಆದರೆ ಅದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ನೇ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಆದರೂ ಅದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ನೇ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಲೂಸ್ ಆದರೂ ಅದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ನೇ. ಸೊ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಮೂವಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆರ್ ಲೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್, such a reaction is called oxidation reaction. A reaction in which there is either addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen or losing of electrons. Such a reaction is called oxidation reaction. Now let us take an example for oxidation reaction. So 2Mg plus O2 give rise to 2MgO. Now you observe here, magnesium will gains oxygen. When magnesium gains oxygen, it will become magnesium oxide. That is, here there is addition of oxygen. ನೋಡಿ, ಮೆಗ್ನೀಷಿಯಮ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ನ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆ್ಯಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಆರ್ ಇವನ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್. C plus O2 give rise to CO
CO2. So here carbon is gaining oxygen, or we are adding oxygen to carbon, therefore it is also called as oxidation reaction. So oxidation reaction means a reaction in which there is an addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen or losing of electrons. Next, let us move for the next type of reaction, that is called as reduction reaction. So what is meant by reduction reaction? A reaction in which just opposite to that is oxidation. A reaction in which there is addition of hydrogen, or removal of oxygen or gaining of electrons, So it's called as reduction reaction. A reaction in which there is addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen or gaining of electrons. So they are called as reduction reaction. So let us take an example. So example hige tagona. So when hydrogen is passed over copper oxide, it forms copper and water. So here that is from copper oxide dash is removed. ಈ ಕಾಪರ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ನಿಂದ ನಾವು ಯಾರನ್ನು ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ? ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ನ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ರಿಮೂವಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್, ಆರ್ addition of hydrogen oxidation or gaining of electrons, that is also oxidation. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಪರ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಂತ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ನ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ರಿಮೂವಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. Now let us move for the next type of reaction, that is redox reaction. So now next redox reaction anta kariyona. So red andre reduction, ox andre oxidation. Andre reduction oxidation eradu ide. A reaction in which both oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously. Simultaneously means at a time. A reaction in which both oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously. If both oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously, such a reaction is called as redox reaction. Red means reduction, ox means oxidation. Now let us take the same example what I have taken for reduction, that is CuO plus H2 give rise to Cu plus H2O. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಕಾಪರ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಗೆಟ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಟು ಕಾಪರ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಕಾಪರ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ನ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ರಿಮೂವಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ಡ್ ಟು ವಾಟರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಯಾರನ್ನ ಗೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾ ಇದೆ? ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ನ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಗೇನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್. So here both oxidation and reduction taking place simultaneously, therefore such a reaction is called as redox reaction. So idanna now redox reaction anta karibeku. Next example 1. Now I will take example 2. So ZnO plus C give rise to Zn plus CO. ನೀವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಜಿಂಕ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಜಿಂಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಿಂಕ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಯಾರನ್ನ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂತಾ ಇದೆ? ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ನ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಜಿಂಕ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಟು ಜಿಂಕ್, ದೇರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಅದೇ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೇನಿಂಗ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ನ ಗೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. Here you observe both oxidation and reduction is taking place simultaneously. Therefore, the reaction of zinc oxide with carbon is an example for redox reaction. These two examples are very important. These two examples we have to keep it in mind. Along with these two examples, one more example is there. Let us take that one also. That is MnO2, that is manganese dioxide. When reacts with the manganese dioxide will reacts with HCl to form MnCl2 plus H2O plus Cl2. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ MnO2 ಅಂದರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗನೀಸ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಟು MnCl2. ಅಂದರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗನೀಸ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡು ತನ್ನ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ನ ಕಳ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಕಳ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ಅದೇ HCl ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, HCl ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ನ ಪಡ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದೆ. HCl ಈಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ಡ್ ಟು ವಾಟರ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. So both reduction and oxidation is taking place simultaneously. Therefore, such a reaction is called redox reaction. A reaction in which both oxidation and reduction is taking place simultaneously, then such a reaction is called redox reaction. Now let us move for what is meant by exothermic reaction. So what is exothermic reaction? So exothermic reaction means a reaction in which energy is released. A reaction in which energy is released is called as exothermic reaction. Now let us take an example. So example na tagonna. So example for exothermic reaction. So when calcium oxide, that is quicklime, when it is put into water, so quicklime reacts with water to form slaked lime, that is CaOH taken twice, plus along the formation of calcium hydroxide it releases heat. Since the heat is released, this reaction is called exothermic reaction. What is exothermic reaction? A reaction in which energy is released. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ calcium oxide when reacts with water, it forms calcium hydroxide and releases heat. Since the energy is released in the form of heat or energy is released in the form of heat, such a reaction is called exothermic reaction. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ is respiration exothermic or endothermic? Is respiration exothermic or endothermic? So respiration is exothermic. Why respiration is exothermic? So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. because in a cell food gets oxidized and releases energy. So respiration is exothermic because in a cell food gets oxidized. ಅಂದರೆ ಫುಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ನ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ರಿಲೀಸಸ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಈಸ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ಡ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಆನ್ಸರಿಗೆ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಈಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಎಕ್ಸೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್? ಎಸ್. Why? Because in a cell food get oxidized and releases energy. Therefore, since the energy is released, so respiration is called as exothermic reaction. So now let us study about what is meant by endothermic reaction. So ಈಗ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ endothermic reaction ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು. So let us study about endothermic reaction. So what is meant by endothermic reaction? A reaction in which energy is absorbed. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಎಂಡೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಂಡೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ 1 ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆನ್ ಫೆರಸ್ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಟೆಡ್, ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಎ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಕಲರ್ಡ್ ಫೆರಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಈಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫೆರಸ್ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟು ಈಟನ್ನು ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಈಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸಚ್ ಎ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಂಡೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ Fe2O3 plus SO2 plus SO3. Therefore, this is called as endothermic reaction. Or even you can take one more example, that is lead nitrate, PbNO3 taken twice. So when lead nitrate is heated, that means lead nitrate is absorbing energy in the form of heat to form lead oxide 2PbO plus nitrogen dioxide 4NO2 plus O2. So such a reaction where energy is absorbed either in the form of heat or in the form of light or in the form of electricity, such a reaction is called, where energy is absorbed, is called endothermic reaction. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಂದರೆ, ಈಸ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ or endothermic? Is photosynthesis exothermic or endothermic? So photosynthesis is a endothermic reaction. Photosynthesis is a endothermic reaction. Why? Because chlorophyll present in leaves absorbs light energy. Since the energy in the form of light is absorbed, such a reaction is called endothermic. During photosynthesis, chlorophyll will absorb light energy. Since the light energy is absorbed, photosynthesis is a endothermic reaction. So like this, is respiration exothermic or endothermic? Is photosynthesis exothermic or endothermic? ಈ ಥರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕೀಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction. So in this video, let us study about two more things. That is, one is about oxidizing agent, another one is reducing agent. ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ಸೊ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಬೇಡ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಇನ್ನು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಉಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಂತಹ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ, ಒಂದು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ಯಾರು ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ನು ಕರೋಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರೋಷನ್, ಹೌ ಟು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಕರೋಷನ್, then what is rancidity, then how to avoid rancidity. So these are the things that we have to study in the next video. Thank you everyone for watching my YouTube channel, and thanks everyone for supporting and encouraging my YouTube channel. So thank you very much.